back to GameVine. My name is David, and today we're going to be taking a look at Mars Attacks, the dice game. And this is a Steve Jackson game, but it doesn't just have dice, it has cards. And instead of being a zombie or the El Chupacabra, you are portraying the Martians, the aliens. And I have a soft spot for the Mars Attacks movies. I remember it being cheesy and funny, so that intrigued me enough to actually go out and buy the game and try it out. Will I like the game? Will I like it more than Zombie Dice? I don't know. Let's check it out and see how it's played, and I'll give you my opinion at the very end of the video. So inside the box of Mars Attacks, the dice game, you will get, let's open it up, a simple rule book. Folds out like so. And 10 engraved yellow dice that have 3 different emblems on them. These are pretty nice dice. As you can see here, they are engraved and painted, and they aren't like sloshed around. They really stayed in the lines with the paint job. So, of course, Steve Jackson takes care of their dice production pretty well. So you get 10 of those, and then you have these player markers here, and they come in sets of 4 for all 6 players and 6 different colors here. And you get those, and then you get the player marker with the Mars Attacks dice game emblem on it. And then lastly, you have this these cards that come in an array of different abilities and cities in North America and victory points, as you can see here. So, and the insert is actually pretty nice. I mean, it looks a little bit too big for what you get in the box, but they could release expansion like they done with Zombie Dice, so I'm not complaining. I'm actually a fan of this insert, and you don't hear me say that a lot. So those are the components of Mars Attacks. Let's go through the how to play portion of the video. Okay, everyone, so that was the components portion of the video. Now let me show you how to play and set up the game. So I have this set up for a 3-person game. And how you do that is either choose an easy mode, and it has 2 nukes on the easy mode part of the card, and if you flip it over, you have the hard mode, and as you can see, that only has 1 nukes. And that will declare on how many nukes you can have on your turn before you blow up, and I'll get into that a little later. And the rest of the setup is you always have 4 stacks in front of you here, and you put as many cards as there are players, and in this case there are 3 players, so there are 3 cards in each stack. And the end game is triggered when one of these stacks is depleted, but again, I'll get into that a little later. So this is set up for a 3-player game, and the first player will start by declaring what city they want to go after. So let's say I'm going to go after San Diego because it has one of the highest victory points. Now I can roll up to the amount of nukes that are shown on the cards here in front of me. So I can roll 1, 2, 3 without blowing up. So let me take my first roll. So like I said, the first player will declare the city, and then they will roll. And they will take their nukes and place them on the emblem. These are locked. You cannot re-roll the nukes. The same goes for the lasers, but they're not bad. You just put them on the card that you're going at, well, the city that you're going after, and show how far you are. And the Martians here, these are the only face that you can re-roll in this game. Now, I can either choose to say, hey, I'm going to lock in my progress and put my little marker right here and pass the dice to the rest of the player, or I can take all the Martians I have left, the alien dice, and re-roll them and press my luck and see if I can get more guns. Now, I'm not going to be able to complete this, but I can get a little further, and why not? Alright, look at that. So I got 2 more laser guns, and I'm definitely going to stop because 1 more nuke is going to blow me up. So I would take all these dice, I would put my marker right here, and I'd pass them to the next player. Now, I don't have, on my next turn, I don't have to go after San Diego. I can go after any other card I want, but if I do go back to San Diego, I will start on 6. And that is the same with the exception of 1 card, but I'll get into that a little later. Also, let me remind you that multiple people can go after the same card. Just like in Roll For It, you are hoping your dice will hit those faces and get the card before the other person. And if that were to happen, if somebody else, let's just say these were different colors, that person was on the card, and we'll say this person that was on the card and they win it here, this person that's behind would just take their marker back. and the person that won will claim the card, and nothing happens beyond that, and they would just claim another card on the next turn. So that is the competition for the cards in the game. So the next person is going to take their turn, and they are going to go after a monument. And monuments are a little different. As you can see, they are pretty high in victory points, and there's a reason behind that. They have Martian emblems on them, and in this case, if you declare that you're going after a monument, you can't re-roll Martians, and that means you can't re-roll any of your dice, and you just get one roll, kind of like roll for it. And you would just like lock in what you have then and there. So this person declares the Grand Canyon. They roll their dice, and hopefully they don't blow up. 1, 2, 3, and they did actually pretty well. They got 1, 2, 3, 4. And again, you can't re-roll the lasers, so this is what they would lock in for their turn. And that's how a monument will go. This is where the most competitive nature comes out in the game, I think, are people going after the monuments, because you can't predict if you're going to be able to get them. They're really a crapshoot. The other type of card in the game are the lower victory point ones, and that is because they have abilities. The green ongoing ones stay in front of you. See, when you claim a card, when you finish a card, you claim it, and you can only declare one card and claim one card on your turn, no matter if you have more lasers or not. But then once you claim that card, you put it in front of you, and it stays in front of you and is worth the victory points, and if it has an ongoing ability. The ongoing ability for Denver here is once per turn, if you are nuked on the first roll, you may ignore the results and re-roll all the dice and start your turn again. So they're low in victory points, but with the ongoing abilities, they can help you out and maybe turn the tide of the game later on. The last and fourth card that we have here is another card that has an ability, but it has a red line around it, and these happen immediately. So, or they alter the card's ability during the game in some way. In this case, Las Vegas, you may not target Las Vegas. If you are nuked, place one of your tokens on the first number space and move that token to the next space. If the first player to get nuked 3 times the first player to get nuked 3 times claims Las Vegas. So this is a little twist. It's kind of like a consolation prize, and this is one of the 2 that actually associate themselves with nuke emblems. So you can see all 3 faces in this game are actually used. So. And the other nuke card here is Los Angeles. Now, as you can see, it has a red border, but this one says you lock in the nukes just like any other face in the game, but all the nuke rules still apply, so you can blow yourself up. So it's kind of like pressure luck to a certain extent for this card. A lot of people like it though, because this is one of the bigger bank cards beyond some of the higher monuments. And as you can see, there are more monuments, but more Martians in the game. So those are the 4 cards and all 3 faces that associate with the cards, and that's basically how you play it. People will continue to do their turns and lock in victory points and cards and claiming and taking their turn until one of these stacks are depleted. And then the round will complete itself, and the person with the most victory points wins the game, and they conquer the world and crush the world in their tiny green feeble fingers. Well, I gave Mars Attack the Dice game 75%. That's just a C. And the word that I would use to describe Mars the Dice game is meh. You know, meh. Oh, that's the alien voice. It could have been so much more. I don't know. 75, I think, is right where it should sit. If it got lower, it really wouldn't budge me too much. It saddens me because I like the license. I'm not too big of a fan of the Topps cards, only because I don't know much about them. I've seen a few of them, and I've seen the art, and that's kind of neat. But I really liked the movie as a kid. I thought it was kooky and weird, but I like space, Starship Troopers and all that kind of stuff. So those kind of films just, they grabbed me, and I had high hopes for this game, and I liked dice, and I knew it would be streamlined, and It basically is. So I'm just going to hit on a few points and then just give a little overview of what I think. The components are really nice. I gave a good score for the components, and the ease of play was pretty easy. Like any other Steve Jackson game, it's easy to get into. It's just like zombie dice with cards. The box is actually pretty nice, as you've seen. The insert's really cool, but the theme is where it hurt for me. I mean, here's a rule book. There's some art in here, but this is about the extent of the art in this game at this point. This is the variation that we get, and it's in the rule book. On every card, beyond the cool city backgrounds, I dig the cool city backgrounds, they just have the one Martian picture. I don't get that. Why just have the one Martian picture? I don't know if it's like a money thing with the license, but that killed the theme for me, because the only way I can bring myself in and immerse myself is making the noise myself, like ha ha ha, yeah yeah yeah. I know it sounds ridiculous, but that's what I had to do because the cards weren't really bringing me into it. Now the Martian faces are neat on the dice, but yeah, it's just a dice game, and I know the theme shouldn't be dripping on this game, but I just expected a little more. If they would have added different art on, well, at least the aliens, give them a mustache or something, it would have been a B for me. That's all I needed. It's just a little better with the art. And like I said, another card here, the alien, the same one there, alien. Now they have this art on the very back, which is on the box here, but it was just a waste of a license, I think. That's where it really hurt for me. And as you can see on the score, it's going to be low there. The longevity too. Me and my wife played it. It says that it can play 3 to 6 players, but you can play 2 players under a 3-player set. And we liked it at first. We were having fun. We were playing the game, and we even went to stacks that had more cards so we can kind of draw the game out. And for a dice game, it's a solid game, which is why I think the gameplay, how streamlined it was, kept the game palatable. But the cards kind of, they wear out their welcome. The game really doesn't have the legs. You play the game and you go through the cards and you do some cool combos, and that's about it. You'll play about 5 times, and this will just become another dice game filler that might collect dust. I mean, I might play it over zombie dice, but I think zombie dice might have a longer life on my shelf. I don't know why, but I don't know, just the theme, I feel more like a zombie, weirdly enough, in the zombie dice than I do like an alien here. I'm just, the misuse of theme and the art just kills me on this one. But with that being said, the game wasn't terrible. It was a decent game. So yeah, 75% isn't too bad. And yeah, that's all I really have to say about this game. I'm hoping for the next Mars Attacks game to be a humorous endeavor and brings me into the theme and gets me to laugh a little bit, because this was all roll, go, roll, go, roll, go. Alright everyone, thank you so much for tuning in and watching the video. I wish it could have been a more positive review. Trust me, this was kind of a letdown, but what are you gonna do, right? Please subscribe to the channel and tune into the next videos. But until then, my name is Dave, and this has been Gamevine, and have a great rest of your day and all that you play.